Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vital Steps to Wellness, the podcast where we bring everyday solutions to everyday problems. My name is Heidi Honrado, and with my co-host Marcia Torres, we're bringing you a very special topic today: transforming habits, the science of small shifts and big results.
That's a very interesting topic, Heidi. I really think that we all look to transform our lives through habits, but we don't know where to start. And we want to start with a question for our audience, right? A question which is, what is one small habit that you do every day that sets the tone for your day?
That's a good question.
It's a good question to ask ourselves, what sets me on for the day? What is the habit that helps me? And in this case, which one is yours?
One habit that I just adopted was doing Pilates in the morning when I wake up to start my day, and it gets me right on target.
Wow, that's great. That you definitely get it with a pump of energy.
That's right. That's right. New year, new energy.
Well,
But I'm really committed. Yes.
Yes. So what I do is I actually drink water. As soon as I open my eyes, I have a bottle of water next to me. And I just feel like that kind of, I am waking up, all my muscles, my body are stiff. So the same thing with my organs, and they need to wake up in a very gentle way. So drinking water in the morning just helps me to do that, and just with digestion as well.
Thinking about intentionality, that is so intentional because I didn't think about that. We always think about outside, which is normal we think about, but you were thinking of the inside.
Yes, I was thinking on the inside. I was like, the inside needs some love.
Yes.
And I hope you are listening. I hope you can also put in the comment, what is the one habit? What is the small habit that you do every morning that sets the tone for the day? So let us know, because we're very interested to know what is that you do to set your day.
Yeah, and it could be something that you're so used to doing, but you're not aware that you're doing it. But what is that one thing that you must do, right? That it's non-negotiable right now for yourself.
That's so true. So now, continuing with that topic in mind, let's talk about that book that you probably have heard, that book about habits, habit transformation. And the person who actually wrote this book is Charles Duhigg.
Yes,
that's how
yes,
you
Charles
pronounce it,
Duhigg.
right? And he describes the habit loop and cue routine reward. And how can we do this and help us to just transform our lives with those small habits? So let's talk a little bit about that. What is that concept? I think it's just magical to me because it really works for me. I have done it and I have implemented in my life. So
and
it works.
And it's such a, I'm so glad that we're talking about this, because I think of a formula, right? It's like the formula to live a healthier life, if that makes sense, right? To implement that. We all say, how do we do that, right? But it's such a simple formula. So if you can break that down and what that means, I think that it'll speak to a lot of people.
Yes, and I think also just starting with the word loop. Something that goes on and on and on and on and
like
on.
A cycle.
It's like a cycle, right? Like now, right now, you wake up and you do your Pilates. I wake up and I drink my water, and I do this all the time. But he talked about something specific, which is cue, routine, and reward. So let's talk about what is the cue. What is the cue for you before you do your Pilates?
I wake up.
That's your cue.
The moment I wake up, I know I better do what I need to do and do my Pilates before I even leave my room.
Awesome. So that is even like, as soon as you don't even leave your room and you do your Pilates. So the cue for you is waking up. And you know, if you wake up, the routine is your Pilates.
Yes.
And then the reward is how you feel for the rest of the day.
Yes. So amazing. So amazing. I feel strength. I don't feel the joint pains that I was feeling. So it is definitely a reward for me to be able to give that to my body on a daily basis. And that's my reminder.
That's amazing, because now you do this every single day, right? And we're going to talk a little bit more about how long really it takes for us to do that and how we can create these changes. Because right now we're talking about something that we already have in place.
Correct.
But the big question, I think, for everybody is how do I start to do that? Because
That's right.
right, one day you probably say, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to start with my Pilates. I don't feel like Pilates today.
Yeah.
And that's okay,
And it's
right?
hard. And that's okay. We're like, it's okay if I don't want to do it today, or when we think, like you're saying, now how do we do it? Oh, I know I want to start doing that, but how do I make that happen?
Yes, and the interesting thing is that when you start doing it, it's like the body craves, right? Even if you don't want to do it, like your body craves. Like when I drink water, I feel like if I don't drink water in the morning, I feel like I'm thirsty the whole day. I don't know
Yes.
why, but I really need to get that water in my system to make me feel like, I have like the hydration and my organs are working well, and like, my digestion and everything works properly.
Yeah. And that kind of, that's your habit, right? It's like, oh, that's my habit. And when we think
That's my
of habits,
reward.
yeah, we connect to different things, but that's what you've given yourself, and you're looking for that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to create. We want to create that reward because we want to have that. You crave the reward, and that's what we want to create with good habits. Because as we
Yes.
know, we have habits that don't work well for us and others that actually do, like the ones that we're sharing. But just to be more realistic, what is something that doesn't work for you? Like you're still trying to change?
Well, getting downstairs to that machine is just not working for me.
Elliptical?
My bike
Yeah. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
still not working for me, but just getting up and doing the Pilates, I'm still doing movement, but that works.
That works.
It's
Okay.
working for some reason. So why is that working and not getting on that bike?
Like that's work. That's a good thing that we want to talk about a little bit later. For me, something that I'm still like trying to be more, how about ritual, like what make it work. I like to drink a shake of protein in the morning.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and I do. When I don't drink it, I feel bad. Like I really feel like I really miss my shake. But a lot of
Yeah.
times I just don't do it. I just don't do it because I see the I see the blender and I'm like, I have to wash.
He said,
Yeah.
this is a lot of work. This is work right now.
And the
But
reason why is because when I leave the house, I don't like to leave dirty dishes. That is my problem.
oh, I see where you're getting at. Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's what I identify. I say, why is this stopping me to do this? So I was trying to find solutions, and sometimes I think I should do it the night before so I can drink it in the morning. But I really like to drink my protein shakes in the morning as a breakfast. So
Hmm.
that's something that I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
I am going to find a solution and I want to make it as a habit because I really enjoy it and I think my body deserves that.
Yeah, and I want to be, because you said, we're talking about the rewards that we feel, right? And
Yeah.
you said I need to have it, and when I don't have it, I feel like I'm not getting the things that I need in your body, like that you expect, right? Because I'm sure it's connected to some energy or whatever, how you feel. But when you don't do it, there's also a feeling, right? When you don't
Yeah.
do it, and I caught you said that. So yeah.
Yeah. So for the people that are listening, what is that one habit that you want to implement in your life, but it doesn't stick yet? Just let us know because it's something that we really want to find out because I believe that the power of sharing, a lot of
Yes.
times you are trying to do something and you think that you are the only one who is struggling with something. In reality, if we start talking about what we are having and struggle with on creating a good habit, you will find out that we're very similar.
Exactly.
And we can share and we can support each other and we can even learn from each other. So if you have a suggestion for me, people, I am open to hear
Yes.
suggestions.
We're not alone on this journey. We're not alone. So please share with us, and sometimes just because we're coaches, we don't know everything. We're going through this as well. And sometimes it's just that thing that you still haven't figured out. But if you share, someone else has gone through it, then we can help each other. And that's very valuable.
Yes. So let's go to our next topic in this area, which is the science of behind the habit stacking, because that's what he talks about. He talks about, and he basically help us to identify things that we want to start working with, and he teaches us in how to do it, and he calls this habit stacking, which pretty much what comes to your mind when you hear the stacking?
It's like blocks.
One on top of
each other. Right? One on top of the other. Yes.
And he refers to basically habits that we have, routines, right? Routine that you have. And he says that you should pick one routine that you do all the time, that you already have it installed, and do something new right after. So how this works is that the routine that you have in place, the trigger is the
cue. The cue, yes.
That is going to help you to start this new habit. And it can take a little bit of time until you get it moving, but it has to be intentional. It has to be intentional. And that's what I think we have to work on our things like my shape.
That intentionality. Yeah. And as you're speaking, and I know we've, I've heard these terms and I mean, it's something that we talk about a lot, but it just clicked in my mind that these are terms that are easy to remember. Right? So like the loop, right? So it's easy to kind of catch yourself and be like, okay, so what's the loop that I'm on right now, right? What is the habit that I'm doing, and what can I add on top? So even just putting the visual to it helps us, for us so many of us are visual people, but it helps us to kind of remember that. I don't have to remember a recipe, I don't have to remember a whole plan, but just the simple science or the simple formula that is just a loop, the cue, the habit, the reward.
Yeah. In this case, just trying to find something that works. I remember actually he talks about somebody that wanted to start moving, that wanted to do exercises. And he said that they committed to actually, after they brushed the teeth in the morning, right? So brush the teeth, they committed to do one push-up.
Just one push-up.
One push-up.
Small push-up. One push-up.
One push-up. How hard
is one push-up? Was it?
How hard is one push-up? Right? Doesn't even take a second.
But so then here you have your habit, brushing your teeth.
Yes. And then right after you finish, put everything down, go to the wall. If you don't want to go to the floor, and just do one push-up. And that's it. And what creates on at that point is, number one, your brain gets happy because it says you did it. You got it. You got it. You're celebrating now.
Accomplish something.
Accomplish, right? You were committed. Say, I'm going to do a one push-up. You can do this. So you go and do it. And then imagine if you do this every single day for a few weeks. I'm pretty sure that your arms are going to be a little stronger.
And I may want to add one more push-up.
Yes, maybe you want to add, maybe this week I'm going to commit to 2. Why not? But it's as simple as that. So people, if you're listening, think about that you do every day, right? I'm pretty sure in the morning you wash your face, you do something as a daily routine in the morning. Try to get something that you really want to increment in your life so you can change your life with your habits.
Yeah, and I see why this is so important. And we see a lot of people, and especially beginning of the year, they say, okay, I'm going to do this. I have to change this entire thing. And then it's just, we set ourselves for failure. We automatically set ourselves for failure. And what you said, once you accomplish that one push-up, you did something. So it makes you happy. So it pushes you and encourages you to continue. So you're
Yeah.
not setting yourself a failure, you're setting yourself a success to be able to continue and grow in whatever it is that you want, that you're doing. So and again, it's that simple. And if so many of us can just really grasp that concept, I think that it can make big changes in our lives, and just not just in our physical, but in many things that we want to, those habits and those things we want to add to change in our lives.
And the reward is like, you are happy, like you actually did something. And
Exactly.
and I think that we can, in another episode, we can talk about the celebration piece because we need to learn to celebrate. But right now, we're going to focus
Yes.
on this habit
Yeah.
stacking. And we're going to also share with our audience about what can help us to actually create this habit of creating new habits. And but
Create a habit to create new habits. I love it. That is the habit set.
yeah, it's about putting our mind, connecting our mind and our bodies. And I think that is the big disconnect. That's the reason why we can't really do it. And sometimes we force ourselves or we have a hard time. But it's connecting our mind with our body. And how
Our
can
bodies. Yeah. And also, yeah, that's right. It's so important. There is that connection. We don't see it, but there is that key connection where you can't do one without the other.
Mhm. You got
Yeah.
it.
And also we diminish small changes,
Yeah.
right? We underestimate the small changes, but it makes a difference. So, really understanding what that means and the power that's in that.
Yes. So before we go into talking about how can we do that, there is actually he talks about an example in the book of how if you're selling for people that like to go into the ocean or a lake.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're sailing and actually if you steer just a very,
Mm.
very small degree, right? If you steer the wheel and it says that actually you will end up in a completely different place than
Wow.
originally you wanted to go.
That is so powerful.
It's powerful, and that
All shift.
exactly what it is a very small shift can create a huge impact at the end of the days for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for, yeah, that example is perfect, because when we think of a boat, a sailboat, right? Here's this boat, but then there's the ocean. And the ocean is powerful, right? But that one small change can change the entire course against this huge force that we're probably going against. That is so powerful.
Yep, and that is exactly what we do every day. We are against a huge force in life. We have so
Yes.
many things that sometimes they don't help us to be successful, but if we
Yeah.
have the right things in place in our life, we can really
Mindset.
continue and have our clear focus on where we're going.
That is so true. Wow, that's so powerful. Guys, I hope if you're listening, really take this in and think about, really picture yourself in that, your life, and what is that small little shift that you can make, that, and look at the ocean as your life, and that big thing that you wanna accomplish or overcome, right? Because it's also overcoming certain things. Yeah.
That's all right. So what can we do to help ourselves be able to do that?
Mm-hmm.
For some of us, it's really hard. Like I remember a long time ago, I used to have a hard time focusing on reading a book. Like
Oh,
I used to fall asleep like in the second page.
like, I'm gonna go put myself to sleep. Let me read a book.
Yes, I'm reading a book, but I really love to learn. I really love to
Mhm.
learn, and that was something that I was like, I have to do this, I have to implement this in my life.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had to do a lot of. I have to really analyze what I was doing that
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
helpful. But one thing I can tell you that really helps is visualization. When you're able to close your eyes just for a minute, just close your eyes and see yourself doing what you want to do. Just see yourself already doing it.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
don't have to wait for tomorrow morning to be in the morning and to brush your teeth and do your push-up. You can actually at night close your eyes and say, tomorrow morning, this is what I'm going to do. And you will see how powerful it is because you are already changing how your brain works.
Yes. Yes. So
This
you're
is,
seeing yourself there. You're
yeah,
seeing the possibility. If you feel that you can do it, you can see it. It's like they say, if you can picture it, you can do it or something like that, right?
you can see it, you can do it.
It,
So this
exactly. If you can see it, you can do it.
So this is actually used, and for people that that might want to go and search a little and search on what we're doing,
Yeah.
this is actually being done with athletes, like top performers, like speakers. They actually
Yes.
do visualization. They visualize themselves speaking to a big audiences. They visualize themselves running or doing whatever sport they're doing, and this prove in psychology that actually this is kind of a rehearsal. So
Yes.
they're rehearsing what they're going to
The
do.
dress rehearsal.
So when they actually do it, it's very familiar. So you are familiar
And
with
that's
what
the
you're
key.
doing, and that's the key. And that's how you
Yes.
become successful.
Yeah. So, and it's not just speaking it. Yes, there's power in saying I'm going to do it, but actually, and I see here what you said earlier. There's a connection between your body and your mind.
Yes.
So you're not just speaking it or saying or the action, but you're actually making that connection of both, and taking that to the next level, actually visualizing it. And I'm sure that's a level of visualization that the athletes have practice, like you said, that they probably just go so deep into, they can literally feel themselves in it, right? And that is so powerful. The mind is a powerful thing, man.
Oh yeah, you can feel pain without, feeling anything. You can feel joy without, you can, if you close your eyes and you start thinking, I'm eating such a good ice cream, you probably start smiling without even eating it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. It's true. It's true. And this tells us that we have the control, we have the power to make those changes that we so desire, that we talk about, that we complain about, that we say, oh, I wish that I could do X, Y, and Z. But you have the power to do that with just these small, simple, scientific based, evidence based formulas that you can do, or these simple things to remember. I mean, habit stacking.
Yeah.
you know Brushing my teeth, I'm gonna go brush my teeth, and I'm going, something that we hope we all do every morning. but but it's something as simple as that. And this is powerful. I'm glad that we're talking about this topic, because there's I don't think there's enough, we can talk about this enough,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
people can really understand how that you have the power to truly make that change in your life, and live a healthier life.
So true. So let's talk about how can we create this, right? How can we come
Yes.
this? So people, if you are listening right now, think about a routine that you do every day. It can be morning, can be in the middle of the day, can be at night, whatever works for you. Nothing is in stone, whatever works for you. Now, write down a habit that you want to start. And remember, baby habits. That's how everything works. Because
Baby habits.
we want to set you for success. And the best way that you can set yourself for success is creating small steps that will actually help you to feel that there is going to be success coming through. So think about that. Now we have a daily routine that you have already in place. Now
Mhm.
we have something that you want to change. And also
Yes.
write down how that will make you feel, or what change is going to give you in your life that you're looking for. And that's
Yes.
the little loop that you want to create in your life.
And that is your individualized loop.
It's your individualized small habit loop.
Loop.
And right now, what we did is we created a goal for you, right? We create a very small goal that is going to be achievable, right? It's going to be attainable.
Yes.
You can measure it, right?
Mhm.
And what is the
Mhm.
last one?
Uh, um, Realistic.
Realistic.
It has
It's
to
not
be
too small.
realistic.
It has to be realistic. So we want you to do that. So think about routine, a very small habit that you want to change, and how that is going to make you feel.
Yeah,
Just
and be as specific as possible, which
as
is what you
specific
just
as
described.
possible. Remember, the routine is going to be the same every single day. So it's either in the morning, afternoon, and night. You can start working with something small. Please let us know what are you going to start working with. We would love to hear that. We would love to.
Yes, and you will work on your shaking, and I will work on my bike.
Yes, absolutely. That we have a deal right there.
We have a deal. Yes.
Just to end up our conversation here, we really want to leave you thinking about what is the one small habit you can start today that will create a big impact with you.
Yes.
What is the one habit that you're working on right now? Like you're trying to work, maybe you want to give it a shift and
Yes.
do what we're, sharing with you, make it smaller, make
Mhm.
it achievable, realistic.
Yes. And it is possible.
And
The
it is
smaller, don't underestimate your small starts, right? That is important. It makes a big impact. And that's what we want you guys to understand.
Yep.
You don't have to jump off the deep end, just
Yep.
small thing.
You
And
don't
that will
have
make the entire difference.
you don't have to go and walk for an hour to start moving. You can do 5 minutes standing on your own space. That's the power of that.
That's true. That is so true. I'm so glad, Marcia, that we talked about this. Thank you for bringing this topic, and that you're so knowledgeable in and so passionate about. And I hope that the individuals that hear us, please let us know your thoughts. Let us know what things you have tried or what you're trying to work on. We would love to hear from you.
Yes. So thank you so much, everyone. And we wish you a healthier, happy life with small habits.
Yes.
Thank you. See you
Bye
in the
bye.
next. Take care.